Chairman Walberg, I welcome your testimony.
Thank you, Chairwoman Fox and Ranking Member McGovern and members of the committee. It's good to be back with you with some substantial bills that offer cost of living enhancements, encouragement in the workplace as well as for retirees. I would like to address several bills from the Education Workforce Committee that are under consideration by the Rules Committee. First is H.R. 2988, the Protecting Prudent Investment of Retirement Savings Act, introduced by Representative Rick Allen. Using other people's retirement savings to advance a woke agenda violates the core principles retirement law is built upon. H.R. 2988 ensures that retirement savings are used for retirement, not to fund woke agendas. The legislation has 4 divisions. Division A clarifies the investment decisions must be based only on economic factors. Division B states that decisions to engage with service providers must not discriminate based on race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. Division C clarifies that shareholders' rights decisions must be based only on participants' economic interests, not radical policies. Division D requires defined contribution plans to explain the difference between fiduciary selected investments and brokerage windows. Next is H.R. 4366, the Save Local Businesses Act, introduced by Representative James Comar. The bill codifies the direct and immediate control standard for determining joint employer status. For too long, the National Labor Relations Board and the Department of Labor have changed their joint employer tests with each administration, creating uncertainty and costs for job creators. H.R. 4366 sets a common-sense joint employer test so that business owners do not have to wonder how they can comply with the law or worry that the law will change before they can blink. The Save Local Business Act will allow Americans to start and grow businesses without fear or uncertainty. Next is H.R. 2270, the Empower Employer, Child, and Elder Care Solutions Act, introduced by Representative Mark Messmer. Along with many other affordability challenges, the increasing cost of child and dependent care is a serious issue facing our country. H.R. 2270 updates the Fair Labor Standards Act definition of regular rate to exclude employer-sponsored child or dependent care benefits, removing a long-standing obstacle for employers wishing to provide the support. Next is H.R. 2262, the Flexibility for Workers Education Act, introduced by Representative Ashley Hinson. The FLSA discourages employers from offering hourly workers voluntary professional development because those hours are treated as compensable and may trigger overtime if the employee's weekly hours exceed 40 in a given work week. H.R. 2262 lets workers take optional training outside work hours without it counting as paid time. I've also offered a clarifying amendment to ensure that the bill's provisions do not create unintended consequences for related instruction activities in apprenticeship programs. Finally, H.R. 2312, the Tipped Employee Protection Act, introduced by Representative Steve Womack, addresses long-standing uncertainty in the definition of tipped worker. The FLSA defines a tipped worker as someone who customarily and regularly makes more than $30 a month in tips. Starting in 1988, federal regulators added what's called the 80-20 rule, which said tipped workers could spend no more than 20% of their time or 30 minutes at a stretch doing tasks that don't directly earn tips. This was nearly impossible for small restaurants and other businesses to implement. H.R. 2312 establishes a clear definition. Tipped employees are those whose tips and other cash wages together meet the federal minimum wage, regardless of how much time they spend on specific tasks. This will help small restaurants and other businesses comply with federal standards. Thank you, and I welcome any questions you might have.